coming from and where he's going. I don't want to talk about it. I don't. I did already. That's why I don't want to talk about it. What's in the news? House approves lower rates on student loans. Isn't that touching? They're all caring about students, all of the Democrats. It would reduce the cost of borrowing for millions of students. Now, when you say students, you probably think of students studying. Student means study. But if you actually go to an American college today, studying is a small part of what they do there. It's really about drugs and sex. Studying is the smallest part of college today. And I'm asking a simple question. Why didn't they just work after school if they needed money to go to college? I worked. I mean, you ever hear of working your way through college? How many people listening to the Savage Nation tonight worked their way through college? Why don't you tell your story of how many jobs you had, that you didn't use fraud, you didn't use felonies, you didn't use fake student loan gambits to go through college? What is this about students being sacred? Well, why are they sacred? Most of them come out, they can't even work in a coffee shop. If you order 3 cappuccinos at once, they have a nervous breakdown because they were raised on Adderall after getting Ritalin from age 2 by the psychiatric establishment. What a story this is. Shrinks for sale. Psychiatry's conflicted alliance. The corrupt alliance of the psychiatric pharmaceutical industry. Check out what the pediatricians of today have become. 20 years ago, pediatricians were the most trustworthy branch of medicine. 20 years ago, pediatricians earned the least amount of money amongst medical doctors. 20 years ago, pediatricians didn't prescribe drugs. That's why they made very little money. Well, all that's changed. Now pediatricians are amongst the most highly paid of the medical professionals. They are pimps for the drug industry. They have eschewed natural products. They tell parents not to give the child vitamins because the vitamins might interfere with prescription drugs that are toxic, that are chemical straitjackets, that are being prescribed by the whores with medical degrees down to the age of 2 and 3 years old. Now, some psychiatrists have seen what's going on and have come forward and try to testify against this, but they've gotten nowhere. The pharmaceutical industry has bought the entire pediatric establishment. The pediatricians today are less trustworthy in most cases than your local crack dealer. The crack dealers, as you well know what they are. They don't hide it. They make no bones about it. They're drug peddlers. The medical doctor who says, I'm a pediatrician, I belong to the American Pediatric Association, says, oh, I'm prescribing a medication, therefore I know that it's good for the child. That's not true. If you look at the interlocking corporate directorships, if you look at how many of these pediatricians serve on the boards of these pharmaceutical companies, you get the picture? It's a dangerous situation because so many of our children are being abused. They're being declared to have illnesses that don't exist in order to prescribe drugs that are toxic, that are killing them, that are turning them into permanent wards of the state and of the medical pharmaceutical establishment. Don't call me on that. There's nothing you could say. Nothing you could say about it. So student loans. I mean, I got to laugh. I worked my way through college. My father told me point blank, I can't afford to send you to a, quote, private college. So you're going to go to a municipal college, the Queens College of the City University of New York. And he said, whatever you make of it is up to you. You'll have to work to get yourself through college. I will let you live at home, but you'll have to pay room and board. I hated him for it. But he made me pay for the food and the room. Why? He wanted to teach me that it had a value. He didn't want me laying around at night smoking marijuana, as the kids do today, thinking that I was a genius because I read Dostoevsky, while ripped on a reefer, sitting under a pillow there with my mother's cooking and think I was a genius because I read John Dos Passos, or that I read the whatever the review was at the time that was published down the street in Queens, New York. I forget the Paris Review. I was shocked to learn that the Paris Review, which I thought was the coolest publication on earth, because all of the degenerate poets published in it, was published in Queens, New York, about a mile from my house. It's a scam. Did you go to school and pay your own way through? You can call on that if you wish. It's not a big deal. They voted today. To link student loan interest rates to the financial markets. What the students don't know just happened is they're going to actually get screwed. Because the rates will be lower this year than they were last year, because interest rates are lower. But as soon as the economy catches up with reality, and we actually catch up